Hi everybody who is watching this video. I would like to welcome you into these fantastic sessions of advanced physics. My name is Olenjolai&Nekinyi. I'll be teaching you advanced physics, and today I'm going to teach you a new subtopic or a new topic in mechanics. Advanced physics actually is beautiful. It's actual that you are going to learn a lot of stuff which will advance the basic physics that you've been learning for the O level. But before I start my session, let me just give you a little introductions concerning about what you should know in advance. Number one, this part of mechanics is one of the topic that has been studied in high schools worldwide, in every continent, in every country. Those students who used to pursue science, they used to study mechanics as one of the topic of advanced physics. Right? That's one. But you know that different countries have different purpose or different objective in educations, in designing the educational system. So actually it will be dangerous for me to focus the whole world, but I have to take a focus, but this focus does not limit anybody who is watching this video to get some materials that can help him or her according to the syllabus of your nation. Right? So to myself, I'll be taking a focus on the syllabus of United Republic of Tanzania, and that's what I wanted just to share with you in brief. However, that you have to watch in this channel, you'll find too much detail concern about this syllabus, right? But remember that what am I going to teach you is what actually that high school students used to learn, who pass science high school students in every continent, in Asia, in Africa, in Europe, in America, in Australia, and even in Africa. They used to learn this material. So everybody in the world can watch these materials, but remember my focus is to the syllabus of United Republic of Tanzania. So I'd like just to introduce you the syllabus that I'm using. This is the syllabus that I'm using. This is the current syllabus when I'm teaching this video by using the digital system. Right? The syllabus is titled as the United Republic of Tanzania, Ministry of Education and Vocational Training. I am a Tanzania, remember that I am a Tanzania. So physics is syllabus for advanced secondary education from 5 to Form 6. Right? So that's the one point. So this will be a guidance. So what am I going to teach you? The main contents will come from this syllabus book. Right? Because that's why that it has been designed in order to limit me as a teacher. I should not go and roam around everywhere. So that's one of the benefits you'll get in this channel, that the stuff that I'm going to teach you will be within this syllabus, and even sometimes because of the beauty of physics, I can take you out, but I will let you know that this is actually that is not one of the components of the syllabus, but actually that it can help you to understand and master as a concept, or maybe it has appeared in past papers. Right? That's one. Again, I'll be using the textbooks such as Nelcon, Roger, those are the reference book. Okay, I would like just to mention some of the references book for these mechanics that can help you. I'll be using Principles of Physics 11 and 12 by S. Chant, and then I'll be using Understanding Physics by Jean Blanchard. I'll be using Objectives of Physics by Chant. I'll be using Nelcons. I'll be using Advanced Physics by Roger Mancaster. I'll be using Physics by Tom Duncans. I'll be using even Physics by Abbott, but I don't think that if I'll be taking a lot of stuff. But I'll be using also another book called the University Physics. If you want to go into these books, actually, you have to spend much time, even beyond the time that has been planned for you. But I'll try my level best. I have been preparing it for more than 11 years. But also even now I'm still updating, but also I'll be using the online references. That's all about the textbook, because in learning we need textbook, and also in learning we need to supplement the textbook we have with question and answers books. Those textbooks, they explain the concept, but they have also some mathematical examples and explanatory examples, but they have exercises. That's fantastic. So I'll be training you, I'll be teaching you and encouraging you to go through even some other question that I didn't solve. Is it fun? Is it interesting? Yeah. Again, I'll be using these samples of the NECTA, we call them Advanced Certificate Secondary Education Examination question and answers books. This is for the paper 1. This is Physics 1 for the paper 1 and Physics 2. Because according to our syllabus that of United Republic of Tanzania, we have 3 papers in physics, in advanced physics. We have paper Physics 1, Physics 2, and Physics paper 3, which is practical, right? So for this channel, I'll be teaching you almost that, maybe all of those parts that I've told you. So I'll be referring this Physics 1 textbook, and I'll be referring this Physics 2 textbook on teaching you. For in case of gravitation, before until 2008 means back, until 2008 back, gravitation was one of the topic of Physics 2. It's one of the components that used to contribute the first 3 questions in Physics to paper 2, right? But since that times when 2010, the syllabus has been changed, they have been updated. So gravitation has been shifted from paper 2 into paper 1. So that's why that I want to share with you about this question and answers books which I'll be using. Again, you might be roaming out wondering yourself because you deliver this material elsewhere and at any time. Where can you get this material, right? So the good news is I have designed a platform or the system which actually that I can sell these books to you as a good students, and I can ship nationwide. When I say nationwide, it means that in United Republic of Tanzania for this moment, and I mean about Tanganyika and Zanzibar. So in case you need this textbook, or you need this question and answers books, or you need the syllabus, or you need some other materials in advanced physics, just to go to the descriptions below. I will be giving you contacts on how you can get too much details, and even how you can do the prepaid, and how you can know the cost of each of the item. So right now I'm ready to start the session, and as I told you that we are going to learn about mechanics, because A-level physics contains a lot of topics, but today I'm going to teach you about mechanics. So I think that this introductions is very important, but when you'll be taking the lecture, even now or later on, but make sure that when you are watching this video, please make sure that you subscribe, and then share this video to your colleagues or to other students who are pursuing the advanced physics and who like mechanics. That's number 2. Number 3, also rate this video whether you like or dislike. Number 4, which is also kind of important, in case that you have questions, please ask questions in the comment section, because my classes are very interactive, whether analogy classes or digital classes, right? So make sure that you use comment sections. You'll be interacting with some other students. You can even formulating group discussions of advanced physics there. And even if you will ask your questions, I will try my level best to answer your questions, okay? Finally, before I start the session, I want to make it clear for you. Olenjolai does not know everything about the advanced physics. I don't know everything about mechanics. I don't know everything about even gravitation that I'm going to teach you. I just know little, but because it's just a portion of the brain. When you say that advanced physics is a huge brain, nobody who knows everything in advanced physics. So even myself, I declare that. But I will be sharing what I know, right? So I'll be sharing, I will be trying my level best to transfer on what I know. I don't limit you also to use other resources. Please make sure that you use your class materials that will be given at your schools, and use even some resources from other teachers. I appreciate that. I cannot do everything myself, and even I cannot take you into the right route myself. So I think that now you have a clear mindset. But again, I would like just to let you know, if you like physics, you are in the right channel. My intentions, my main objective is to make sure that you love physics. I'll be transforming you stage to stage to love physics, and you'll master it, and you'll never forget it for the rest of your life, just like I did it for myself. Okay? So if you are ready right now, take your exercise book, take your calculator, scientific calculator, take your pen, take your ruler, then let us join to the serious class. Thank you very much. So let us start the business. So, as I said that, the subject of the day is called the advanced physics. This is the subject. Okay? And then the main topic main topic is called the mechanics. And then the topic of the day is called the gravitation. Say gravitation. Gravitation at the topic of the day. Okay? I'll be starting today. This is lecture 1. And then this we can call it lecture 1, we can call it session 1, whatever, the way that you call it. But then students targeted for this material are pre-form 5, pre-form 5, form 6, reciters, pre-form 5, form 5 themselves, reciters, and even ordinary diploma who are pursuing engineering. Okay? For example, when I say ordinary diploma example, NTA level 4, means that first year, for the second semester, they have a module known as Gravitations and Simple Harmonics. Okay, so that's the content, that's the main focus. So this is lecture 1. I'll be teaching you I'll be teaching a series of lectures, but all the lectures will be in this channel. Okay, so the contents, according to the syllabus, right? According to the syllabus, before just I got the syllabus, according to the Tanzanian syllabus and even a global syllabus, mechanics has been divided into 4 main branches. Okay, it's the longest topic, but it's interesting. The first subtopic is called the measurement. It's called the measurement. The second one is called the mechanics, the way it is, right? And then the third one is called the fluid mechanics and viscosity, fluid mechanics. And then the fourth one is called the properties of matter. This is a very important point that I want to make for you. So in mechanics, we have a number. We have almost 60 subtopics, right? The first one, we have 5 subtopics. The first one is projectile. The second one is circular. Okay. The third one is Newton's law. Then the next one is rotation, and then the fifth one is gravitation. So these are the 5 topics of mechanics. In measurement, we have dimension and error. We taught in this channel. In fluid mechanics, so it means that dimension and error. In fluid mechanics, you have only one topic that called the fluid mechanics and viscosity. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 7. And then we have again circular simple harmonic. Yeah. So mechanics contributes almost 60 topics. So here we have another topic called the simple harmonic. So measurement, it contributes dimension and error, first topic. Projectile, second topic. Circular, third. Newton's law, fourth. Rotation, fifth. Simple harmonic, 6th. Gravitation, 7th. Fluid mechanics, 8th. Properties of matter contain 3 topics. Kinetic action of the gas, that's number 1. Number 2, strengths of material. And then number 3, we call the surface tension. So a mechanics contains 11 topics, and you have to master them in order for you to succeed in paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, and even in order for you to succeed in science that you are going to pursue or in engineering. Okay, that is good to let you know about that. Okay. So let us see the contents according to the syllabus. Okay. So the contents of gravitation according to the Tanzanian syllabus. So we say that you have gravitation, syllabus, right? Gravitation syllabus, and then this you have to refer on the syllabus book. You have to refer page 9. Remember, I told you if you don't have a syllabus and you want to get it, and you are in Tanzanian, just please go to the descriptions of this video, and then we'll see how you can get this stuff. Okay, So the topic or the subtopic is called gravitation, that is 2.5. Gravitation is very important for a student, for each student to have what? Gravitation, to have syllabus, gravitation. And then we say that is the topic. But again, in this syllabus we have specific objectives. It means there are specific objectives has been set, specific objectives that the students has to make sure that you meet. And then start with this sentence. By the end of this subtopic, the student, the A-level student, the student should be able to explain the three KEEPLER'S, laws. Okay? Three KEEPLER'S laws of planetary motion. Then B, deduce Newton's law of universal gravitation. Then C, derive KEEPLER'S third law from Newton's law of universal gravitation. So these are three. There are 5 specific objectives. There is specific objective D, specific objective E. These you will get them, know them when you have or when you get the syllabus book. So I encourage you to make sure to get, so you know the first specific objective and the 5th specific objective. I just mentioned 3 for you, right? That's very important. Again, if you are aware about those contents or those specific objectives, in order to meet those specific objectives, I, as a teacher, I have to make sure that I go through different textbooks, different materials, according to the guidance of this syllabus, and then prepare the materials which actually that will give you the highlight or the focus or the achievements of these specific objectives. So here, I have developed something that I call the subtopics of gravitation. This is according to Olenjolai. Okay, Olenjolai designing or compositions of the notes. The first subtopic that we are going to cover, we call it introduction of gravitation. I know gravitation is a new terminology for you. You didn't cover it during your ordinary level studies. And then we'll be learning about astronomers' law. And then the mindset of these astronomers, okay? Astronomers' theorems, or models, theorem, or we call them models, right? That's the second subtopic. The third subtopic, then we have these famous laws. Means we'll be starting, because this is all about introductions to introduce to you the concepts of gravitation, which is very important. The KEEPLER'S, we say that the KEEPLER'S are the KEEPLER'S laws. 3 KEEPLER'S, so I'll be teaching you 3 KEEPLER'S laws of universal gravitation. Okay? Then the first concept, I'll be teaching you how to derive mass and density. This is the promised density of 40 of the Earth. Okay, by using reference books, I'll be teaching you how to derive the mass and density of the Earth. Have you ever think that we can compute, as physicists, we can compute the mass of the Earth? Or you can compute the density of the Earth? Actually, I don't think if you have thought about that, but this is the good news. Stay tuned. Okay? Then, I'll be teaching you how to derive mass, or how to calculate, how to find, to derive the formula to calculate the mass of the Earth, and also we'll be calculating the mass of the Sun. So here I'll be teaching you to derive the formula of how to find the mass of the Earth, the formula that helps us to find the mass of the Earth, and then we find its mass. Then I'll be teaching you to derive the density, the formula of finding the density of the Earth, and then we find it. Then, because all of the year formulas, they are on right hand side, just they contain the constants, which are known. Also, I'll be teaching you how to derive the mass of the Sun, and then we'll find its value. Okay? Then the sixth concept, which is very important, we say that in variation, I'll be teaching you about variation of acceleration due to the gravity. So we call it acceleration, right? Acceleration due to gravity. And this in abbreviations, physicists use G, right? With altitude. We spot in altitude. How does altitude affect? How does altitude affect acceleration due to the gravity? Right? And then number 7, I'll be teaching you how. It means that I'll be teaching you I'll be introducing, it means that introductions, or the concept of what? The concept of satellites. Concepts of natural, both natural, and the concept of the satellites. Satellites, okay, and planetary motion. And planetary motion. We go for number 8. I'll be teaching about, so here I'll be teaching how to derive the escape velocity. Escape velocity, right, of the satellite. And then I'll be teaching about the gravitational field, gravitational potential, gravitational field. Okay, gravitational field. Means that here we'll be learning about potential energy and kinetic energy of the satellites. Okay. Then number 9, I'll be teaching you about, this is number 9, potential energy and kinetic energy of gravitational potential energy. Be teaching you the concept of gravitational potential energy, gravitational kinetic energy. Okay? Then, and total energy. Gravitational and what? And total energy. Total energy. Very important in mechanics, if you are good in other topics of mechanics. Of 40 of satellites. This of 40 of satellites. And we'll be dealing with artificial satellites. But again, I'll be teaching the experiment, which was the question of next exam of advanced certificate secondary education, determination of 40 of G. It is practically, but we can do it theoretically. Theoretically, we can calculate the value of universal gravitational constant. So that's the overview. It's one of the longest, it's one of the long topic in mechanics. One thing which I want just to make you clear, remember the syllabus gives us the focus, the direction, right? I mean that the guidance. It doesn't tell us which questions will appear. The 11th part, the 11th subtopic there, will be now solving problems. Be solving problems on gravitation. And the goodness will be taking even some of the real life problems and solve them about the actual satellite. When I say about satellite, you have heard in radio broadcasting or in TV broadcasting, when those reporters, they say that we are broadcasting, we are transmitting our signals by using satellites. So what does it mean? It means we have telecommunication satellites or communication satellites. You have heard a lot of things or a lot of information on BBC, on TBC, on different broadcasting associations, right? So it means that that's the applications of gravitation. One thing when you'll be learning the concepts of gravitation, which I want to give you as a challenge, ask yourself these questions every time. Where am I going to apply the concepts of gravitations in my present and future life on solving real life problems? That's the main goals and the visions of this channel, to teach you how to think differently to solve your real life problems. Okay? So the 11th subtopic, which will be the last thing, I'll be teaching about problem solving. When I say problem solving, I mean that I'll be giving you some questions, I'll be writing some questions, I'll be teaching on how solving some questions from the textbook, from all the references that you require. Solving questions. It's about problems solving questions on gravitation. It won't be the ends, but in every concept, sometimes if you need to solve your questions, then I'll be solving for you. So I think that now, this is enough. I won't repeat this stuff frequently in the next lectures. This is lecture 1, that's why I give you introductions. You're in a good place right now. You know the focus. This is the focus according to the syllabus. I gave you 3 objectives. Look there, the 2 other objectives when you get a syllabus book, because it's very important. I insist you as a student. Make sure that you have the syllabus books for all your subjects that you are pursuing in your advanced level. Okay. So now let us start the first subtopic, which is called the introduction. Introduction of gravitation. If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask yourself in the comment sections of this video. Here, downstairs, it will be written comments. Okay? Introduction of introduction of gravitation. If you join me right now, you are welcome. Gravitation. You are welcome. Olenjolai&Nekinyi, a physics teacher, advanced physics teacher, and I am a Tanzanian, from Tanzania, United Republic of Tanzania, the beautiful country. Right? Yeah, so we are trying our level best to break down and to simplify this stuff which used to be seen like complex. Okay? So in introductions of gravitation, there are some few terms that I just want you to understand before we go further. The first term, gravitation, is one of the subtopics of the terminology known as astronomy, which is not new in your ears because we touched this concept of the astronomy during our O-level studies or ordinary level studies. Okay? Make sure that you watch this video seriously, actively. You make sure that you write everything on your copybook, on your hand, like the way that I'm writing myself by using chalks. I can use the PowerPoint, but I know that I want to assist you. I can use the digital stuff to simplify my teaching, but I know that it won't insist you. I want the clean blackboard where I write each step to step. I write and I teach everything from the scratch. That's my intention, and that is, it has been put in my heart by God. Okay, so we have the word astronomy. The first question that I would like to ask you as a physics student, what is the meaning? What is astronomy? What is astronomy? So pause the video and then astronomy. Then ask yourself and try to answer. Before you continue watching this video, ask yourself what the meanings of the word astronomy, right? There are many definitions, but I found some of them and I want to share with you. Okay? So astronomy from Greek perspective, astronomy, the word astronomy It has been introduced in this world. First of all, it has been introduced firstly by God, who designed the space, okay, astronomy, or the heaven, okay, astronomy. But also God give us mind and give us understanding on how to start the things how to start the principles of the things that He has designed Himself. So from Greek concept or perspective, they say that the meaning of the word astronomy is this, that is a science. Astronomy is a science, the keyword, right? It's a science that studies, or is a branch of science that studies the laws of the stars. The laws of the stars. Remember that when you say stars, this is plural. We have many stars in the space, right? Stars. When you say that stars, example of the stars, moon is a star. Again, we have another star, which is sun. We have some other stars, morning stars, etc., etc., etc. Right? Or some of the references define the word astronomy in this approach. That astronomy is a natural science, not artificial, is a natural science. Okay, is a natural science that studies this is T, that studies celestial objects. Celestial objects and phenomena. And the phenomenon. And the phenomenon. Okay? So that one of the definition of astronomy. So astronomy is natural science, right? Natural science that studies celestial objects and their phenomena. Right? Before I tell you that how do we start, or how astronomists study this concept, that one of the famous device or instrument has been used to study the stars is called telescope. Okay? And then we say that, okay, the astronomists, like you, future astronomists use the telescope. The telescope to study what? To study the stars or celestial objects. Okay. Again, we say that these concepts of astronomy, the concepts of astronomy, okay, the concept of astronomy, to understand, it uses, the concept of astronomy uses mathematics. Let me just list them. One, uses mathematics. Okay, uses mathematics. And then I want just to say, in this lecture one, we want to cover this, we want to cover this, we want to cover this. Possibly we may go to the first even subtopic, but depends on the intensity of the stuff that we're going to cover. Uses mathematics, uses physics, and then number 3, also the concept of astronomy uses also the concept from chemistry, right? Chemistry, in order to explain So in order to explain their origin and the evolution. So we say that in order for us to understand the concepts of astronomy, we need to use mathematical formulas, different concepts in physics, different concepts in chemistry, different concepts in what? In mathematics, in order to understand the concept of the subject of what, or the branch of physics called what? Astronomy. Okay? That's very important. Again, another key point that I want to make it for you in these terms, astronomy, we say that the objects, these objects are, because it's a celestial object, the celestial of interest is, the objects of interest in what? In celestial studies are these, some of them, okay? Number one, we're interested to learn about planets, okay? We're interested to learn about moon. Moon, this is capital M, moon, this is capital P also. Okay? We're interested to learn about the moon, the sun. Okay? We're interested also to learn about stars. We're interested also to learn about nebulae. It doesn't mean that in gravitation we do all of this. I'm trying to introduce you the big concept, and then we'll narrow as well as we can. Then number 60, we'll be learning about comets. Okay? Comets, sorry, not comets, comets. Then number 7 will be the objects of interest is galaxies. So I form 7 for you. So, astronomy is the study of planets, study the moon, the sun, stars, nebulae, comets, galaxies. You can even find more than those. I've just mentioned some of them. That is the first terminology in introductions of astronomy. So, in this big subject or big area of astronomy, we have one branch which is called gravitation. Now we are coming to the point. Called gravitation. So that's the second terminology that I want to introduce to you. The word gravitation. Say with me, gravitation. In some of the books, we call it gravity. Okay, so gravitation, gravity still have the same meaning. When we are discussing about gravitation, we are not studying about acceleration with the gravity. So don't confuse. This is something else in the universe, for the universe. When you say about acceleration and gravity, that is, it means that the tendency, or it means that the behavior of the Earth's surface to attract, or it means that to attract an object at a certain height. Okay? So the first question that we have to ask ourselves as physics students, what is the meaning? Because I always want to tell you that what the meaning of the term gravitation. What the meaning of this term gravitation? What does it mean? So he said that in mechanics, as I introduced you, in mechanics, the universal force, not the universal force of attraction. So we say that the gravitation is a universal force, is a universal force of attraction. This is R of attraction, right? Of attraction acting between all matters. Okay? So in mechanics, you say that gravitation is the universal force of attraction, acting between all what matters. Means suppose that here we have matter 1, and then here again we have matter 2. So there is a gravitational force between them. What does it mean? It means that matter 1 will attract matter 2, and also matter 2 will attract matter 1. So if this is universal force, is universal force, then we say that this is gravitational force. And this terminology now, or this subject, we call it gravitation. Gravitation is the word comes from the word gravity. Right? Okay. Good. If you realize that I'm teaching quickly or I'm teaching faster, you can pause, you can repeat this video as well, these videos as well as you can. You can pause, you can write, and then you can continue watching. Again, this universal, it means that the universal gravitational force, the universal gravitational force, the universal gravitational force is the is the weakest. Is what? Is the weakest. Is the weakest. Means is the weakest. Is the weakest known force of what? Force of attraction. Okay, force of attraction. But it has its very exceptional contribution. But it controls this force. It's the weakest. But it controls what? It controls the trajectory. The trajectory. The trajectory. The trajectories of 40 of bodies. Okay? Of bodies in the solar system. In the solar system you learned during your O-level studies. In the solar system. What is the solar system? You remember it? So we need also that concept, this concept. You learn, I think that there we used to learn in geography. Isn't it? Yes, that is all. And even this is typical learning if you want to advance in geography. But it was just introduction and preparation for us to understand the concept of what? Of gravitation. So we say that universal gravitational force is the weakest. Say with me, is the weakest. Is the weakest. Amplify that word, weakest. Is the weakest force of what? Attraction. But, however that it is weakest in magnitude or in measures, it's the one that controls the motion of the bodies in space or above the Earth's surface. Right? Or in the atmosphere, or it means in heavens, right? In the universe. So when we have satellites, or you hear the word about satellites, all the satellites are controlled by the universal gravitational force. Fantastic, right? So when you see that, when you used to say that all the planets revolves around the sun, right? So what is holding them is not from falling downwards. That's the meaning, that the gravitational force, okay? So that's what I want. So when you say the weakest, what do you compare with? Let me just give you a little description. Just let us say that just a little level. In the world of physics, we have three types of attraction force. Attraction or repulsion force. Right? Number one, we have gravitational force. Let's say the one that you know right now, gravitational force. Gravitational force. And then number two, we have also electrostatic force between the charges. And also number three, we have nuclear attractive force. Nuclear attractive force, okay, in the atom. Nuclear attractive force in the atom. So if you compare these three forces, gravitational is the weakest among all the three. right? So it's the weakest more than electrostatic force, where you have maybe one charge, so you have Q1 and you have Q2. So the force of, as the force of attraction, if like charge repel, and like charge attract each other. So that is. Also, when it's about nuclear attractive force, we know that, so this is the electrostatic force, which is electric field intensity. Then in nuclear, we say that we have in the nucleus, we used to have protons, which is positive, right? And then in the shells, we used to have electrons, which is negative, right? So then we say that here we have nuclear attractive force. It means that these protons is attracting the electrons. But here we say that it depends the sign of the charges. If this is positive, then we have nuclear repulsive force, right? If this is positive, negative, then you have nuclear attractive force. Okay? So that's all. So I believe that you know about you will know. I will teach you about electrostatic, so you learn a lot about electrostatic force. But this is just the point I want to explain. That's why I said demonstration, in order for you to understand that the weakest force. So we are learning a weakest force in the world today, but very interesting. Okay? Again, we say that the last sentence that I want to make for you, we say that it does not only control the trajectory of bodies in the solar system, but also we say that this nuclear, it controls, right? It controls the trajectory, right? The trajectories of the objects, the trajectories of the bodies, in the universe. Okay, in the universe, and the structure and evolutions of the stars. The universe, and Roti also explain about structures